You ever had that? Look, I think I just had an internal moment.
Oh.
Where is here? Here could be there.
Oh, God. Are you going Dr. Seuss on me?
Indian taco or Navajo taco?
Navajo taco.
Now,
There's no hesitation. Y'all, it's been a journey. Building Ah-Shí Beauty from the ground up started back in 2012 in college. It was just a vision. It's just always been something I wanted to do.
Welcome to the Wrong Indian Podcast.
Native Americans of all trades, masters of none.
What does that mean? Oh, we have a lot to say. We are not the expert.
But we talk to the experts on a variety of issues.
I'm Brittany Shulman.
Kenrick Escalante.
This is the
Wrong Indian Podcast.
Welcome back to the first episode of season 2 of the Wrong Indian Podcast. I am Brittany Shulman.
Kuwait Kamadum Ventiv. I'm Kenrick Escalante. How are you guys?
Wait a minute. We didn't talk about this in pre-production.
What's that?
I'm glad to know that you're doing it. Go ahead.
I'm just living in my light. I don't know what you're talking about. Welcome back to the Wrong Indian Podcast. For our listeners, I just like to remind you guys, if you like what you're listening to, please rate us, on whatever you're listening on. May that be podcasts.
5 stars, please. And the reason is that if you're rating us 5 stars, that means that our podcast will move up and that more people will be able to listen to the Wrong Indian Podcast. So we appreciate your rating us 5 stars.
And if you can leave us your comments, because your support and your feedback means everything to us.
Absolutely. And if you're watching us on YouTube, by all means, subscribe to our channel. Make sure you click the little bell so that get the notification we're putting out. And I am hitting my mic. We're putting out a podcast new for this season every single Monday. So as you're listening, you'll get that notification as soon as it drops on Monday so that you can listen to the Wrong Indian Podcast, share it with others. Yes. Please put a comment down below. Tell us what you want us to talk about. We are happy to do that, or who we should interview next.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would love to hear who you think we should go get. So far, season 2 has been great. We've been doing some great interviews, but there's plenty more people out there. One thing that I want to bring up too, this is episode 1 of season 2. But before that, we did launch a special, and that special was an interview with the DNC chair, Tom Perez, and we were talking about the native vote. So if you guys are interested in hearing that, if you're interested in hearing about what the chairman had to say, feel free to go to Apple iTunes and go to Spotify, go to anywhere you listen to your podcast, go to YouTube and watch the video. But if you ask me, my fun takeaway from that had nothing to do with Mr. Perez. It actually had to do with us talking about Legend of Korra.
Yeah, Mr. Petty McBetty here. Was sticking it to the YouTube man.
Look, all I was trying to do was try to be authentic to ourselves, and we discussed Korra, and we put up a YouTube video of Legend of Korra. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. We were reviewing a YouTube video of Legend of Korra, and we tried to put it on YouTube. And then what ended up happening was YouTube kicked it off, saying that we were infringing on copyright. And so it was
a fair use. It was a fair use of that video.
Absolutely.
That was already being fairly used. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, I blurred it. I put a box over it. We probably had 4 iterations of trying to put this thing on YouTube and nothing.
The final iteration, he texted me at midnight and I literally laughed out loud so much so our son still sleeps in the bed. I have got to figure this life out. Our son still sleeps in the bed with us. So I was in bed, laughed out loud, about woke him up, ran to my husband who was playing his video games and just showed him. And he's like, "Are you high?" I said, "No, this is hilarious." After all of the iterations of trying to get the video up, because I tend to watch my videos, my podcast and all that on YouTube. I'm not necessarily a Spotify or Apple Podcast kind of girl. I like to see something. So yeah, I really wanted that to happen, and I'm so glad that we finally figured it out.
Yeah, so if you want to see what our final iteration was, go to our YouTube channel, watch it, and I would just say it's the best work my 10-year-old's ever done. So
I was wondering, I really legitimately thought it was your artwork.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It's great though. It's still great. Which leads us into what have we been watching? This is our new segment. We have a new segment, guys. It's called What Are You Watching? Because apparently me and Kenrick watch a lot of we take in a lot of visual media.
Anything to decompress.
Right. Because I actually, as we've been in the pandemic and in the different phases of quarantine, I've actually stopped watching shows that I really, really loved. I love Call the Midwife. I love all this, it's melancholy kind of things. I cannot deal now. It does not take me out unless I want to cry. Now, if I want to cry, then I can watch that stuff, but I haven't been wanting to cry. Actually, what I've really been watching is Married at First Sight. Have you heard about this show?
No, what's that about?
So there is this panel of experts who go through different people and have them fill out questionnaires, put them through interviews and all these different processes. And then they match people based on those characteristics, based on their algorithms, based on their doodads and whatnots. I don't know exactly how it all works. There's a whole scientific process behind it. These two knuckleheads meet at the altar the very first time and they get married.
Really?
Yeah. They get, yes. Weird. Yeah. Right. I'm like, who is a person who would want to do this? And then I was thinking talking with my husband. I was like, do you think they would have paired us together? And if they would have paired us together, could you do this? But so I've just finished season 1. I'm watching season 2 now. I already know the results because, this is like 5 years ago. It's 2015, because I like to watch everything in one go. So in this season, they have these two people and they get married and they go on a honeymoon and then they live together for 6 weeks. And then at the end of the 6 weeks, they make a decision on whether they want to stay married or not married. If you look it up on Wikipedia, not to give anyone any spoilers.
2015.
Yeah, they got about a 25% survival rate.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
so
it's not much better than if you're looking for your person yourself.
I was going to say, so basically you're watching the Kardashians, is what you're saying.
Yes. except there's not the sister bond. There's just these two people who, and it's so interesting to me how many of them will how many of them like oh, okay, they're every season so far, which is 2 seasons in, there's at least, because they usually do like 3 couples, there's at least one couple where the woman's going, I am not attracted to him at all. He is so not my cup of tea. That's the couple that ends up making it. It's crazy. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to be with him. I don't know why they paired me. The experts failed me. I was like, oh my gosh. It's high drama. And that 90 Day Fiance, I am just really into, and that's where 90 Day Fiance is, that's where an American finds their match overseas and they have to get the K1 visa, bring them back to the States, and they have 90 days to get married.
Interesting. I
think I'm just enjoying the study of human behavior and how people act. And that, at least there, they've met each other online, or they've met in person, or they have some sort of, connection before just getting hitched. But it's so fascinating. People are interesting.
Well, it makes me think of cultures, some cultures have arranged marriages, and how do you make that work? And the thing is, at least what I'm getting is, from the TV show, there's no connection, right? You just literally meet somebody and then you have to see if you can make it work. But in an arranged marriage and culture, there's things at stake in regards to those marriages. So I understand probably the differences between that, but I mean,
Well, these are still arranged marriages, because someone else is making that choice. Oh gosh, there was this movie I watched way long time ago, and I just loved it. And it was this uh, Jewish girl and a Muslim girl, and they become friends because they're teachers at the school, and they're the only two like different teachers, so they bond over that. Both of them wear their the hijab and their headscarves, and so they bond over being the weird different teachers. And they both are going through the arranged marriage process, and it's similar but different, but similar, and it ends up working out for them. But it's the same. At least they get to meet their matches and get to have dinner, even if it's with their families, or get to even talk and have that conversation. These jokers, married at first sight, they're meeting at the altar. That's literally the first time they see their partner that they're going to be, and they're legit married. It's not like a pretend marriage. It's a legit. If it doesn't work out, they actually have to file for the paperwork to divorce. That's a lot of work. Especially depending on, like in North Carolina, you have to be legally separated for an entire year before you can even file for divorce.
Really?
So that is a lengthy process. Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems just like a whole lot of mess that I don't even want to get involved in. But I would.
What have you been watching?
But I would be watching it though. What
I love drama.
I was discussing this with you off air. It's so hard to watch anything right now with our busy schedules. But when we do watch things, I mean, I really get the idea how we can be so absorbed in what we're watching. One thing I'm just like completely in love with right now is Schitt's Creek. And I know I'm watching it like way behind. I already know that, they've gone through 6 seasons, and
I've heard a lot of good stuff about it.
Well, I mean, they've gone through 6 seasons and it's over now. The series like ended, and they just sweep the Emmys just recently.
Oh yeah.
And it's just the most hilarious show ever. It's written by Eugene Levy and Dan Levy, father and son. Eugene Levy's the famous dad from American Pie.
Oh yeah, I was like, I know that name.
Yeah, so him and his son co-wrote this show, but his son's the one who actually created the whole concept behind the show. And it's hilarious. I mean, you look at him, he is the younger version of his father. But it's about this family, the Rose family, who was this really rich and wealthy family, spoiled kids, and their family ends up getting their whole fortune taken away because one of their business partners defrauded them. And so they lose all their money, and they have to end up living in a small town called Schitt's Creek. So it's really just
so they're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle.
literally. I mean, I literally cannot watch this show without like literally laughing out loud. My wife like looks at me like I'm weird because I'm just laughing. I mean, the wife is Catherine O'Hara.
I love her.
Yeah, from like Beetlejuice. She's hilarious. Yeah, she's hilarious. And like I don't know if it's like just the way they wrote it, but like the theme of it is like she has this like accent that you can't even recognize. It's unrecognizable. And she's constantly just like, because she's always in theater, so she's always talking like, and
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and these simple people that live inside Schitt's Creek, they're trying to live now in this world of the Rose family. It's just so outlandish. It's like the Beverly Hillbillies in reverse.
Oh, see, I love some Beverly Hillbillies.
Right?
Yeah, I could see watching. That's on my docket. That's on my life's docket to watch. I have like a list of things that I'm trying to go through, but like you said, busy lives, we only have a little bit of time to watch things, and so you just take in what you can take in and move on from what you can move on. You know what else I watched?
Oh God.
The presidential debate.
Oh Lord, do we even want to go there?
I literally let me just be real honest. I live tweeted it, and there were times I literally just walked away. I was like, oh God, I'm done. Oh God, I'm done. Oh God, I'm done. It's just how I felt when Kool-Aid, and I like that Charlemagne the God pointed out, he's like, why are y'all even surprised he couldn't say that white supremacy is bad? I was like, 4 words. He didn't even have to say supremacist. Just white supremacy is bad. No, Proud Boys stand back and stand by. I'm like, did I literally just hear that? And the thing that got me is not actually him saying it. It's not actually them going, it's all the white people, and I'm going to call out white people here, that go, there has never been such a racist president ever. Like, dude, please go back and read the Constitution and check out every single president we've ever had. Just about all of them, just about, have been engaged in some form of white supremacy. I mean, you have Woodrow Wilson, who showed the birth of a nation, who is the rise of the Ku Klux Klan at a White House screening. So this is not the first time we've had a racist or white supremacist president. I don't, or openly racist white supremacist president.
I think the thing is that we're living in a time where we can see it every second of every day, like with all the mediums that we have, on our phone, on cable, on our computers. I mean, no matter where we go around the clock, it's in front of us now, where before you could naively just look away. One thing from that debate was, and I thought of both of us, us being former teachers, it literally just reminded me of like having to deal with, tired kids in a classroom.
I totally, it's like, you don't pay teachers enough if you think that, and this is literally how it happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in one aspect of it, I'm looking at the moderator and I'm just like, come on, man, do your job. But then on the other hand, I'm like, I get it. I've been in that room. I've been in that room where that class just wasn't going to have it, and there was nothing you could say that was going to stop them.
Yeah, there was, except let's just cut the mic. We could cut the mic. Maybe that's, but I actually, I do have to point out that Biden couldn't even say Black Lives Matter, which annoyed the crap out of me. And he said the police department was just a bunch of bad apples. What we know is that the police departments, the policing system in America is based on protecting property. And it comes from the South after the Civil War, right? That you had a whole system for protecting property and for making sure that Black folks and other people of color stayed in their place. That's what the police system is based on. I have lots and lots and lots of family who are law enforcement, family who are native in law enforcement. So I understand the harm that they're in. It's not the individual, it's the system. And it's the fact that the system continue, because what happened with Breonna Taylor? 100% completely legal. What wasn't illegal? Shooting the wall. Right. And that's the jacked up systems part of it. So when he says that's just a few bad apples, I'm like, crap, Grandpa, really? Really?
Right. I mean, not to pick sides of the argument or anything, but I think what he was trying to do was just trying to be strategic. And I think he was trying to be presidential in the way of like not being so, like, he was trying to calm the situation down instead of saying like, if I say this, I'm gonna upset this side. If I say that, I'm gonna upset the other side. So I'm just gonna try to be neutral in the middle. I'm not saying he did it successfully.
Neutrality has got us to this point, but sure, okay.
Well, no, see, I don't think so though. So I think if we look at who the current, commander in chief is, I don't think he's ever neutral. So
no. So absolutely not.
So I think because of that,
I mean, he couldn't even say white supremacy is bad.
I mean, literally, all he literally had
to say.
Right. He could have ended that whole entire conversation by just saying yes, and then
like, what is that guy? Oh, white supremacy is bad. Okay, that would have worked.
2 thumbs up. He just could have went. Maybe, I don't know, maybe give a shot. Look, all I know is that debate, for me, gave me a clear a clear understanding of where I'm going when I go to the polls. It also reminded me that I haven't been living a lie in regards to the perception of the current climate. And I think, I think the most apparent thing for me is that seeing our leader of this free world completely act like a 2-year-old. I
I'm
mean,
warned.
I mean, literally to the point where I watched him speak to the moderator as if like my children have argued. He gave, one of the answers I got from him was, but that's what he did. That's literally, I can tell you verbatim, that's what he said. But that's what you did. And I'm like, what? I don't want my president to sound like a 2-year-old,
Yeah. Well, for me, because I went to, Facebook after. I had one of my cousins put up there for the undecided voter. Can you tell me who won this debate? I also preface this. He's Native. I don't know why he's undecided. I'm going to be real honest, but there are people out there who are undecided. Down his list, Trump, 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 Biden, Trump, 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 Trump. I was like, that the debate in and of itself, I don't think changed anyone's minds on even the undecided folks are decided. I think they just don't want to say who they decided. You know what I mean? Whether it's Biden or Trump. What I literally was mourning the next day and just really grieving and sad, because if this is the best we got out of the 347,000 million people that are in America, I don't know the exact number, but out of everyone in America, this is the best. This is the best we've got. I feel really sad.
Well,
I am definitely, and I'm going to also say that because it's not the individuals themselves. I don't see Trump as the problem. He's a symptom to the problem.
Yeah.
And I don't see Biden as the problem. He's a symptom of the problem too. That this is these are our two binary choices, and this is the best we've got. And I felt really sad that this is the best we have. I am not an undecided voter. I'm very much decided. I'm still sad.
I'm decided. I don't think I'm sad. I believe that, my choice, if successful, is a pathway. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, that's what my mom said.
Well, that's the way I
She
feel.
was trying to make me feel better, and in that moment, I'm going, but it's not them; it's the system, and the system sucks.
I mean, for me, the funniest thing I saw was, like, if you see it on social media, there was this meme going around right after that. Was that it was like this wrestling meme, and it's like, and it's showing Trump, and then it shows coming out of the left, it's Bernie. It shows Bernie with a steel chair, and it was like, I totally get that. We had a candidate that
we had multiple candidates. Let's be real.
Yeah. But look, at the end of the day, you get what you get. You don't throw a fit. I mean, you can.
I can pitch a fit.
As long as you vote.
Oh, I'm going to vote. But the bottom line is, because as I was telling my mom about my disappointment with the system and how it all needs to burn down, and that the world is ending. And I was reminded of my grandfather's analogy when it comes to voting and Democrats and Republicans. He says, you come to the table. There's a loaf of bread. The Republican will take the bread, hide it, say, there isn't any bread, go make your own. Democrat will break a little piece of bread off, pass it around, hide the rest of the loaf of bread, and say, well, that's all the bread we got, but ain't it wonderful that we got it to share? And I feel like I am starving with a distended tummy, tiny little arms, just sickly, gonna die, and we're gonna die anyway. And I hate that I feel that way. I hate that I feel that way. Wow. And I hate that I feel so disgusted with the system. But I did realize that for those of us who are disgusted with the system, there are options and there are ways to make it better. A, Don't just vote in presidential elections. By the time those jokers get to that office, they're already so engulfed in the system that it's really hard, I think, to make change. I mean, if you look at folks like AOC and them who are really putting forth all of this policies and things, it becomes really hard when it's at the Washington level. So local elections, figure out who's on your school board, vote on the school board elections, vote for your county commissioner, city council. All of those elections right now are really more important. And I'm doing more research to really feel much better about voting. I've always been a voter. I will never stop being a voter, but the system right now is not demonstrating or reflecting me or my values. So that's what I can do. That's what you can do too at home.
And if you need that like immediate release like Brittany does, I mean, you could definitely live tweet like everybody else during these debates and issues that we see.
Please follow me at Clever Native. And I've been trying, I've been trying to change my Twitter to match everything else, but Twitter is not having it. So we're just going to keep that for a little while. It's at CLVRN8V when I thought I was so smart. But I'll have the vice presidential debate is coming up. I don't know that I'll watch another presidential debate, but I am super interested to see Miss Harris take on VP Pence, because I want to see if Mother's going to be there beside him, because, you know, he can't be around other women. And I want to see how he actually reminds me of a preacher we used to have. And that preacher actually said one time, if you're vacuuming, if a woman is doing anything, is running anything more than a vacuum cleaner, she's in the wrong. And I remember looking at my mom like, I don't think that was from God. I really feel like he's venting some frustration here. And that's how I feel about Mike Pence, is that he's got some frustration, some latent tendencies that he's trying to vent. And so I'm really interested to see, because what I love about Kamala Harris is that when she was in the presidential debate with Biden, homegirl she's not only super smart, she's also super prepared. I don't even remember what the topic was that they were talking about, but she took it to busing. She made it about her. She had that meme ready to go. As soon as she said it, boom, it was up on her platform. I was like,
I was there.
Viscerated.
You know,
I'm super excited about seeing this debate.
I remember that debate. It was in Atlanta. And seeing her dominate was really remarkable. I was just like, wow. Like, okay.
I mean, she's the person who made Brett Kavanaugh cry. So I would like to see Mike Pence cry.
Oh my Lord.
That would be just the highlight of the evening for me. But that's October 7th at 7 Mountain Daylight Time. Figure out your time zone, because I can't.
Oh yeah, no, don't ask me about.
But follow me for sarcastic commentary throughout.
Look, all this talk about politics makes me want to emotionally eat. Okay, I mean, speaking of it, I mean, literally, it just makes me want to just grab me some Magic Spoon. Are you guys familiar with Magic Spoon? Ooh, it's a plug. It's healthy cereal that doesn't taste like it came from a box. Okay, guys. While on average, Americans eat 100 bowls of cereal a year, and kids are mostly the largest consumer of that. All they're really eating is just sugar. And I said this in our special earlier, was that, kids today just constantly consume so much sugar. And as a Native American, I'm always concerned about my sugar intake. So Magic Spoon gives you all those beautiful flavors that you grew up with as a kid, but without the guilt. I mean, it's grain-free, gluten-free, low carb, high protein, and it has 0 grams of sugar per serving. So that's absolutely awesome. And it's absolutely delicious. So, I mean, for all you listeners out there of the Wrong Indian Podcast, if you're interested, support our sponsor, and that's Magic Spoon. You can go to their website, which is magicspoon.com, and you can use your promo code Wrong Indian Podcast to save on your shipping. That is the word wrong. That is the letters NDN Podcast to save money on your shipping. So remember, go to magicspoon.com, use our promo code Wrong Indian Podcast. Save yourself some money, get some delicious food that you're not going to feel guilty about.
And it is delicious because my 4-year-old specifically asked for the fruity. She is really into that. And I have gone through, so they have a variety box. I got that variety box that has 4 different flavors in it. I thought cocoa was going to be great. Nope, that was good. Blueberry was like, oh, this is my flavor. Stinking frosted. I did not think I was going to enjoy frosted.
Yeah.
And frosted is legit the bomb. So
it is literally my go-to snack. You know what I mean? Like that's what, because like when I'm trying to like limit my carbohydrates and I'm trying to stick to a nice protein diet, I'm always like you get into that craving mode, like, oh my God, like I need carbohydrates. And so I'll dive into Magic Spoon, takes it right away.
That's my midnight snack. But you know what else is a midnight snack? TikTok.
Look.
Have you seen Dogface 208 in his video?
Of course. Oh my goodness. Okay, for any of you who live under a rock, there is a TikTok personality. His name is he goes by the handle Dogface 208.
We ain't calling him that. He called that.
Yeah, but on TikTok he's actually 420 Dogface 208.
Oh.
And yeah, he has this viral video that went out with him just cruising down the highway on a skateboard, drinking his juice while listening to
cranberry juice. I was legit watching it going, but dude, do you have a UTI? That's the only reason to drink cranberry juice.
Oh man, I so disagree with you. I love cranberry juice. But like literally, you know, the vibe that he gave off was just like, hey man, no worries. Like that's all I can do. And if you think about it, like the backstory of that video, he was running late for work. And he just said, you know what?
Skateboards to work.
Huh?
He skateboards to work. I love it. I love it even more now. Go ahead.
Actually, that was the thing. He was supposed to, I think it was his truck wasn't working. And so he couldn't get a ride and he was already running late. So he just said, you know what? You know, it is what it is. And so he just hopped on his skateboard and, you know, trekked to work. But he did it in that vibe of like, look, I can't control this. So I'm just going to enjoy what I got. And people loved it. I mean, I believe it like had 2.4 million views like on day one.
I can believe it because I found it because I'm old lady status, not on the TikTok. I just watch the TikToks that make it to the Instagram or to the Facebook. And yes, I'm using an article before every single one of those because that's where I'm at in life. To quote Tabitha Brown, it's my business. So, but yeah, I watched it I was like, oh my gosh, this is someone put it in their stories. I was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. And then I actually went to his Instagram and just started watching all of the videos. Yeah. Kool-Aid is funny. Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if he's like, come out and said it, but from my perception of him, you know, he's a fellow native.
Well, he's got the feathers in his head.
Yeah, no. You know, I definitely get the vibe that he's a fellow native. In fact, I believe I even saw one of his posts where he had his daughter at the clinic. Man, that is an opposite clinic. I mean, I know. I mean, if there was a smell, I could tell you I could smell that clinic. But just looking at that clinic, I was like, oh man, that's so IHS. But yeah, so like I totally respect his vibe, and you know, actually, what I really respect out of it is like the outcome, right? The outcome is that, you know, he's gone viral, and he has this huge audience now. He has over 1 million followers on TikTok, and it's now become lucrative for him. I mean, this is a guy who by all
skateboarding to work.
Yeah, but I mean, by all perceptions, he's just this laid back, cool dude, and he loves to, you know, live in his own little vibe. And if you look at him, like he's very humble, and like, you know, he comes from simple means, and like he even shows like he has these Nike Cortezes that are like completely trashed, but he wears them constantly, and he's like, these are my ride or dies, you know. And one of the coolest things was that one of his followers sent him new shoes. You know, and you know, and like donations were coming his way, and you know, he started getting payments through TikTok because you know, his video went viral, and so like his life has changed just by him sharing his vibe, you know, and I love that. Yeah. And that's what I love about TikTok. For me, anyway, that's my takeaway. I love the humanity of TikTok. I love how it's creating all these content creators who are just authentic with themselves, and we get to watch it. We get to digest it. So maybe the one way we're gonna get Brittany on TikTok is that she's gonna have to create her own little TikTok channel, and she's gonna have to build that content and get busy.
I don't know about all that, but we do have some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Wait, don't you have sound effects? We should have sound effects for this. Wait.
I know you think I would be prepared for that, but I wasn't. That was my breaking.
Just sounds like an elephant farting. So breaking news. The president and the first lady have tested. While you're hearing this on Monday, we're actually filming on Friday, and we just found out the president and the first lady have tested positive for COVID. Sir, do you have thoughts?
You don't say. Wait, hold on. Are you telling me that President Trump has COVID?
Yes, that is exact. He is tested positive. The most tested human being in this country has tested positive. Now, how all these tests could he have gotten the COVID?
I mean, but he wears his mask like every day.
No, he doesn't.
He wears it so bigly, and if all the people in the world who wear masks, he wears it the best. Right?
Have you seen him wear a mask? I was like, this is just the simple consequences of not doing. This is what my mom would say. You didn't do like you're supposed to, and this is what happens. It's like you just want to sit in a corner. All your experts said, wear a mask, social distance, go, take these precautions. Does he even wash his hands? I don't know.
It's like me yelling at my kids. I told you to wear a helmet. I told you.
It's not my fault you have busted your head to the white meat.
Hey, look, I don't know why you're crying. I told you to wear your helmet. So yeah. Look, I mean, all joking aside, I mean, yeah, it's pretty, for me, it's very serious and scary that the leader of the free world, has tested positive, and what that could mean moving forward. But who can be surprised? I mean, literally. I mean, we literally just got done talking about the presidential debates. And one of my takeaways from that debate was he was mocking, Biden, because Biden is always wearing a mask. And as of today, one person has tested negative and one person has tested positive. You get what you get.
I mean, even Jill, after the debates was over, was still wearing her mask when she came on stage.
And look, I don't care if it's a strategy. I don't care if it's a gimmick, but at least it's showing a positive gimmick, and it's a positive strategy. It's like that saying, right? Better safe than sorry.
And I'm gonna be real honest. I wish him well. I hope he gets through this. I hope him and the first lady make it through. And I wish this would be. I wish they get through it and they make it through and make it well. And I do nothing but wish them well. And I hope folks who have not been taking it seriously, who have just been mocking, like wearing masks, washing hands, doing social distancing, I hope that this is a wake-up call for them.
Yeah.
But I don't see it as being one. I feel like, because if something happens, God forbid, it'll be, oh, no, they injected him with it. Oh, no, there'll be a conspiracy. There will be, if there isn't already a conspiracy after this. He got it from Biden.
Oh my God.
There will be. And I wish them well, and I hope that they have a safe recovery.
Absolutely.
That's all I need to say. Because I don't think that not taking it seriously is the way to go. And you know what else? We should also really take seriously our health. And one of the ways you can take seriously your health, I'm just making up words now, is working out.
Sound effect for the plug.
Is working out. And so if you following me on Instagram or in my Instagram stories, I'm getting fit. Y'all just watch. I'm already sassy with being a big girl. I'll be sassy being a less big girl.
We need more attitude from Brittany.
Yes. So,
I
but what
can't
I've been
continue.
using is FNX Fit. FNX Fit is committed to creating innovative supplements of the highest quality that provide focus for a productive morning, energy to thrive throughout the day, and performance supplements to reach new goals, unique sleep and recovery formulas to support any sport, and healthy supplements to support your active lifestyle for years to come. If you're active like us, your body craves movement, but it also craves recovery from those daily demands. Now, I have been using the refuel, and I've got some videos on the Instagram as well about the shakes that I've been making. I have the vanilla milkshake. It actually tastes really, really good, and it tastes really, really good in all the different formulas that I've been concocting. And it works really good with all the fruits, all the vegetables that I've been throwing in. Yes, I throw vegetables in my shakes. One scoop is 22 grams of protein, 5 calories, and 1 carb. And it's one of the best protein powders out there. And that includes the one that you sold me, Kenrick, that I kept getting for months. I eventually had to stop that, cancel that formula, but it's actually a better.
Oh my
it
God,
tastes
I
as
forgot
good.
all about
You
that.
forgot about that, didn't you?
Totally. What
It tastes just
flashback.
as good, but it has less sugar. So not
Yeah,
only do
no,
they have
true.
workout supplements, they also have sleep aids, super greens, collagen and hair gummies, as well as earbooks to help you reach your goals. And listeners of the podcast, that's you, will get 15% off of your order. If you go to fnxfit.com and use our promo code WRONGNDN at checkout. Again, that's the word wrong, the letters NDN at checkout. That gets you 15% off of your order. Make sure you're going to fnx.com using that promo code WRONGNDN.
So
I'm
one
really
thing too,
appreciative of their supplements and everything that I've got from them because it's delicious. It's delicious and it's working for me.
absolutely. And before we move on to, just so that we're clear, if you're interested in any of our sponsors right now, Magic Spoon, the promo code is Wrong Indian Podcast. And for the FNX supplements, it is Wrong Indian. So go out there. Hopefully, give us a shout out and, go support the sponsors that support us.
Absolutely. And working out has kept me happy, but do you have anything else that's keeping you happy right now, sir?
Geez, man, it's 2020. I mean, this is so, I don't know. It's a depressing year and you really got to do things to keep you happy, right? So like, yeah, I have had, I've had to expand what I do to keep me normal. And obviously picking up the mantle of Wrong Indian Podcast is definitely something that's kept me happy. We had great plans for season 2 early on in 2020, and then COVID hit, and that kind of shattered all our, plans. But now we're back full steam, and I love it. And then also I'm getting back into my art mediums that keep me going. I'm getting back into using my hands in my art. I'm a graphic designer by trade. I've been doing it for 20 years, and I love doing digital content. But getting back to what I started with, a pencil, Sharpies, paint, aerosol cans. These are the things that have truly made me happy, and I'm trying to get back to that. For one. And then the other thing too is, I'm trying to, watch other content. I'm trying to contribute to other content. I have a cousin out there who has an amazing podcast called The Gratitude Attitude.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's doing amazing things. And, he asked me to be his first guest on the show. And I thought that was
sweet.
Yeah, it was so awesome. So like, Gratitude Attitude. If you're on the YouTubes, you can see that I'm showing off his logo, Gratitude Attitude. His name's Isaac Ramos.
I love that so much. Put that back up. Let me see it again. That's so cute. Did you do that logo too?
No, I didn't make that logo.
That's his logo? Oh, I love it.
But it is my can, though. It's my aerosol can. Those are the things that are making me happy. And then spending more time with my wife and just doing like fun, crazy things, as much as we can outside the house. I believe everyone needs to do that. You need to take that moment to get fresh air. Depending on where you live, maybe you can't do that. I'm blessed because I live in a cemetery. In case you forgot.
Let me tell you. So The other day, we have like bike trails in the back, and there's what's known as, for those of you at home, an arroyo, which is a place where a river can go should there be a river there. Anywho, so that means it's a dry riverbed. And on the other side, as I was doing my little walk, on the other side, there was a guy in a golf cart. And I didn't even know you could get on the other side of the arroyo. And so I'm just walking, and I've got my little earbuds in, and I'm listening. I'm going, I hear, hey. I turn around and say, oh, he must be stuck. So I holler, I was like, are you okay? You need some help? He said, wait right there. He comes across, leaves his little golf cart, comes all the way across. And I'm thinking, gosh, he must. So I usually don't take a mask when I'm out and about, because I'm not in vicinity of people and it's really outside. So I was like, I don't have a mask. Let me step back. He puts his mask on. He says, I just wanted to tell you, you were beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, first of all, I look beat up. I am wearing a rough sweatshirt, rough leggings. It's the afternoon. I usually do it in the morning. I'm looking beat up, and I'm like, this ain't happening in a while. Thank you so much. You have a great day, sir. Because that's my response to every time a creeper hits on me. But that hadn't happened in a while. It's both, oh, that's great, and back away.
Remember, gratitude.
So that made me happy, but it was a creeper.
That's hilarious.
I immediately walked back to the house. So I was like, no, I'm not doing this today.
So what are you doing to make you happy during this?
I'm writing. I'm doing a lot of writing, and I've got a new blog. It's brittanyschulman.com. Every Thursday there'll be a new blog up. It's all about family, a community of caretakers. So family, meal planning, all the stuff that's on the Instagram, except it's over here on a blog now, as well as, every other plug. I'm also working with Red Planet Books and Comics. We have what we call the Good Relatives Book Club. And that is, we're putting together a new book of the month. They're all by Indigenous authors, some with Indigenous illustrators. So it's very cool, very exciting. This month's book is The Jingle
Dr.
Dancer.
Francis' business, correct?
Yes, it is. Who will be on our show very soon. Be back. I really, I just enjoy working with him.
He is one of my favorites. I mean, God, I get so amped. I get so amped. Literally, I'm excited.
And working out, like I said, on my stories, I finished a little black dress challenge, which I talk about on the blog. And you can see in the highlights where I work out. And that was fun. I actually learned a lot from just challenging myself. So I'm really into doing challenges here lately and working out that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You know what else makes me happy?
What's that?
Buying from Native-owned companies. Hey. Which leads to our interview. We're actually going to interview Ahsaki of Ah-Shí. I've been practicing beauty as part of our new series. We're doing a whole series on how to dress like an Indian, which is just all about finding out about more Native-owned companies and more Native-owned brands, whether it's clothing. Well, she does everything. She's got clothing, skincare, makeup. Nothing for you yet, Kenrick. I'm so sorry.
She said she was going to hook me up. She was going to give me a shirt or something.
So that is also doing this series is making me real happy, because we're talking to a lot of really cool people, and a lot of really awesome things are moving and happening. So even though 2020 sucks, there's still really cool things happening.
Absolutely. So everyone, take a listen to our guest. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you come back for episode 2.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Look,
Twitter?
I'm
Twitter too?
I'm just happy if you're listening to us right here, wherever that is. Wherever here is, I'm just happy you're there. You ever had that? Look, I think I just had an internal moment.
Oh.
Where is here? Here could be there.
Oh, God. Are you going Dr. Seuss on me?
Enjoy our guest. Thank you for listening to the Wrong Indian Podcast.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Right now, we'd like to welcome you to our new series called How to Dress Like an Indian, where we interview different Native brand owners and their brand. so that we can learn more about their businesses while giving us an insight on how to dress like an Indian while supporting a native business.
Today we're interviewing Ahsaki Lafrance, and I am already I've completely lost Chachere, which she was Chachere, not Lachey. It's not Lachey like Nick, which is what I completely messed up. But she has a luxury skincare and cosmetics brand. In fact, Ah-Shí, which again, jacked up, Beauty. And we're going to get this right in this podcast. I'm going to learn how to speak Navajo. So I've got you. But she has also got a newly launched clothing line. And she's going to say it.
Let's just be honest. She's going to say it, because
and she's going to say it right. And I'm going to learn it again because we're respecting all that. But Ahsaki is Navajo and African American and part of the movement to show diversity of indigenous peoples, as well as supporting local economies on the reservation. And I'm going to say she is the face of the next iconic beauty brand. And like I said, I'm wearing my shirt. Also, I've got the brows. My brows are on fleek. Yes, I'm dating myself.
Yes.
We say that, fleek.
We still do. Yeah, we still say that.
Yeah, okay. Well, they're there.
So, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
But before we dive deep into the interview, we just want to get to know you a little bit better. And by doing that, we're going to play a little game called This or That. And we're basically going to provide you two choices. You let us know which one you prefer.
Let's do it.
Okay. First one, dog or cat?
Dog.
Could you elaborate?
Cats are cool, but I think I'm more of a dog person. I have a toy poodle, which is a miniature poodle. Anyway,
Right.
I like dogs. I don't.
It
It is what it is.
Say it.
It is what it is.
Look,
name is
I was raised with cats, but my wife, she's totally pro dog. But for me, if I have to have a dog, I want him to be like a lap dog, something tiny, so I can call him or her something huge. That's my favorite. I like doing that. But my wife, she wants a dog the size of our bed. She wants to have this big guard dog who's just gonna loom over us. So
that's too scary for me. My husband wants one too. He wants one of big Beethovens. I was like, I can't do that. I gotta control the animal,
Right? No, not my jam. I don't know. I want to be. Maybe it's my Napoleon syndrome. I just want to be the biggest person in the room. I don't got time for that. I don't need some dog being bigger than me.
Exactly. That's why my dog's name is Dodge, and he's the size of this, and I can boss it around.
All right. So the next one is stranded in the ocean or stranded in space.
I'll take the ocean because I don't know what's going on in space.
But that's the thing that's crazy though. Do you know what's going on in the ocean? I don't.
That too. But I'll take my risk of actually floating my way back to shore than being out there in space and never coming home and trying to find ET. No, I need it.
at least there's a chance of oxygen in the ocean, right?
Right. I'm still on Earth. I'll take that.
Okay, so this is a favorite for everyone in New Mexico too, probably. Turquoise or coral?
Turquoise. All day, every day. I love coral too, but it gotta be some turquoise. My favorite turquoise is the Sleeping Beauty. It's just that dark blue. It just pops on anything you wear. So yes, turquoise all day.
Nice.
So the next one is, this is controversial.
Ooh.
Rodeo or powwow?
I'll take them both. I don't know.
You got to play the card. You're like, I'm here.
Okay. I'll take rodeo. I'll take rodeo. My husband's a calf roper. My family is a rodeo family. And then my family is also a powwow family. I grew up dancing powwow. My uncles used to sing. So it's still dear to my heart. When you hear them drums, you already know. It's just, I'm there. But rodeo is just part of our lifestyle. And I got roped into love. I thought I wasn't, but I did. I got roped, y'all. Tied up, and I'm here in Texas. Dang it.
All right, so the last one for me, and I'm prepared to fight you.
Oh, let's do it. I'm not ready for this.
You ain't ready.
You're ready.
Indian taco or Navajo taco?
Navajo taco.
She didn't even
Now,
There's no hesitation.
now you need to quit.
Come on. You know,
I mean,
I was good at Navajo taco. Like, I'm sorry.
Look, look. You need to show me like a timestamp or something that proves to me that you all had it first.
It is what it is. Like, let's not argue with it.
I don't know. I mean, I go to my local powwow and I'm like, I'll take that Indian taco, please.
If I have to, then I'll respect it. But if you're on the res, on my res, then you have to say Navajo taco. But if we off the res and another person's territory, then we'll have to respect the taco situation. Just saying. So.
Completely respectful. I mean, it's completely inclusive. I mean, I know when I'm in Pima country, I got to eat a Pima taco.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I hear you for sure.
Navajo taco.
For all the people who are listening, I'm making faces right now.
Yeah, you know what? Now that we've got your hot takes, why don't you just tell us a little bit more about you, about what you're doing, and correct all my colonized tongue.
Well, first and foremost, y'all, thank you so much for having me. Y'all, it's been a journey. Building Ah-Shí Beauty from the ground up started back in 2012 in college. It was just a vision. It's just always been something I wanted to do. My mom, she's a fashionista. My dad played football, so we've been traveling a lot, off and on the reservation, and we'll go to these malls, right? And I'm probably like 8, 9, not worrying about makeup, just trying to find a toy aisle. And my mom would always pick up like multiple foundations. That's really where it really started. And we had to travel like all the way to Phoenix. My res is 5 hours from Phoenix. So we'll travel, go to Phoenix, shop. And I was like, Mom, why are you buying 2, 3 different foundations? Like, and this, white lady comes in, she just buys one and she's out the door. And I'm like, this don't make no sense. And just, going through these magazines, I never seen someone like me. When I say someone like me, yes, I'm melanated, a little chocolate, but, I just never seen anyone from home. I'm a res kid. I don't care what people say. I'm a res kid. Like, I was born in the IHS hospital, grew up on the res, went to school on the good old Indian reservation school system, and, worked for my tribe, went to college, came back, and this was something I was like, you know what, I have to do it. And I waited. We all waited. We all waited for a beauty brand to pick up one of our beautiful models, and they're gorgeous. I don't understand why no one picked them up. And so I was like, you know what, I'm done waiting. I'm going to just go forward, studied, researched, and found the right manufacturer, and then start creating products, launched the line. In 2018, July 4th, I did it for so many reasons. I'm like, we're going to take that back.
That's right.
Just we're going to take that back. And it's going to be for like cost-wise, I won't have to worry about fireworks because there are also going to be fireworks on that day. So, free fireworks show, every anniversary.
Free promotion.
It's been a journey, and really the reason why I'm doing this is not just to become rich and famous. It's because I feel like this is a tool of mine. This is a tool that I can create jobs on and off the reservation. I can create opportunity. And growing up the res, doesn't matter which res, we all know this. There's no jobs for us. Our unemployment rate is super high. Our poverty rate is super high. Right. Now, how can I fix that? As a business, I can do so. I don't need no legislation to sign off and say, okay, you can give this person this much money and this. No, one day this is going to become a multi-billion-dollar company. And when that happens, I get to share this money with people, and it's so much bigger than just a lipstick. And, that's that's what people think it is. It's so much more. It's bigger. And to show the beauty industry that we come in different shapes and sizes and colors. And they always think that we only look like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, nah, they look like me too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? It's so diverse. And people don't even know we're there. They think that, you know, I'm Asian and I'm Black. I'm like, nah, I'm Native. Stop playing with me.
Seriously. I mean, for the people who are watching our podcast right now, I mean, just look at the screen. You're looking at Indian country, right? And we don't look the same.
We don't.
And we never did.
Never.
From the very beginning, we never did. So, you know.
Yeah, style and swag since day one.
Exactly. You know, my first question, I feel like I know you already kind of answered it. So I was really going to ask you is like, why and how did you start your business? But you really explained that beautifully right now. But for me, I want you to, if you could you touch more on the idea of representation? I mean, I think, you were really keying in on that, but could you like really express what that means for you and why you started this business?
Yes. Just honestly, growing up, who do we look up to? Someone that's not like us at all. And representation matters. And for once in history, in Indigenous beauty history, Indigenous history period, we are featured in Harper's Bazaar, the September's issue. So next week on the 8th, when it hits all the newsstands, they're going to pick up this magazine. And I said it before, one day our little ones, our future generations, they're going to open up a magazine and they're going to see Ah-Shí Beauty and they're going to see a Native model. And they're going to do that soon enough. They're going to open up the pages of Harper's Bazaar. On this one page, they're going to see Ah-Shí Beauty. And then they're also going to see a Native supermodel. I say supermodel because she's a supermodel, Kahara Hodge. And her face is there. And it was like, what's the odds of both of us being on this one page in the September issue of Harper's Bazaar? So it's like, oh my God, like it just gives me chills thinking about it. Like when we finally get that hard copy and, history has been made. And it's not for me. I dedicate it to all the little ones all across Turtle Island and around the world who identify themselves as Indigenous. When I say Indigenous, I mean the people who are from the homelands. This is our homeland, Turtle Island, and all across the world, when the colonizers took over. And anyway, we're not going there. But it's for us.
You go, honey.
You already know. But it's for the youth. I'm really doing this for the youth because we grew up without it, right? We never seen ourselves. So now, the wait is over. I tell them all the time, I'm done waiting. We're here. And I'm very happy that, we got this type of representation in a legendary magazine like Harper's Bazaar.
Exactly. I just had like a moment myself because like we all grew up with like Tonto on the screen, right?
Right.
I'm glad that like my daughters are so into like, they're in the TikTok era, right? So they will send me TikToks, and my youngest, my 10-year-old, she'll send me a TikTok and she's like, hey, look, do you follow this person? And it's a Native influencer. And it's like, that's mind blowing for me because like I didn't grow up with that at all. And now they have it. They have it in the palm of their hand. And it's the thing that they're obsessed with.
Exactly.
And like they're learning like the term Native TikTok, just like we have Native Twitter, but I don't really like to go there. But I mean, our kids, this generation, they have something that they can say, look, there's people on here who look like me. And what I'm seeing too is that like you're starting to finally see allies too. We didn't have allies. I didn't grow up with allies. I grew up begging for allies.
Right.
I'm talking about me personally.
Necessarily ally-ish.
Yeah, and then we were begging for, like you're saying, we're begging for it, but we're also, that's what we've been wanting for so long, is to fit in and just to be part of something that they're a part of. And now I think it's just at a point where we're like, you know what, we create our own. We're done. And that's what I love about it.
And I absolutely love your products. I love your messaging. I love all of it. And you're absolutely right when you say we've been having conversations about what representation is and how that looks. That's why we wanted to do this series, How to Dress Like an Indian. Instead of, the old Pocahontas, you can actually, buy from Native-owned or businesses. And I am just, I want to hear some of the challenges, because we know that there are always challenges. But as a Native woman, as a Native and an African-American woman, what is some of the challenges and obstacles you faced as a business owner?
Ooh, we need to do a class of how to do business on Navajo. Baby, that red tape. And, like our reservation itself has so much potential. We got hit hard with COVID, and that was no joke. We were plastered all over the news world. Like, it was just insane. It was heartbreaking for me too, watching it and, sharing the story as well. But really the hard part is, fighting the stereotypes that people think of us as Native people. I'm always getting questioned, if my products are legit. I'm always getting questioned if my business is legit because I'm Native. That's just being Native, And then, unfortunately, I don't look like a regular Navajo woman too. I am, obviously, I stand out like a sore thumb. My hair is wrapped. I'm rocking my ghost beads, And unfortunately, the color of my skin, I've been fighting since I was a little girl, since I just didn't understand it because my parents never taught us color. My dad's teammates were from all nationalities, and they were my uncles, and their children were my friends and my brothers and sisters. So when I came back home, started school, been called every single name under the sun. And I was just like, what the heck, and you would think you would grow out of it. But unfortunately, I deal with colorism on and off the reservation. But I just kept true to myself. And, my mom was really big of, keeping our traditional language, our culture alive. And I guess I'm Malcolm X and a little bit of Martin Luther King in a mix. I was about 4th grade when I ran for Miss Mini Farm Elementary School. I was like, Mom, prepare me. I got to get this crown, because if they said I'm not Navajo enough, let me get this crown. So, and I guess it was just my way of just, I hate that I had to prove myself. I'm constantly getting tested, and people would make these sly remarks in Navajo when I'm at home, and I'd be like, you said what? Don't play with me. Stop playing with me. But it's like, man, like, when is this ever going to stop? When, our colonizers did a hell of a job making sure that we divide and conquer. They divide and conquer. They made sure that we tear each other down before we get to help each other. The whole, I guess, in the South down here, we had the Jim Crow, right? Say they break down our African down, and they make us go against each other. They broke our mental, but kept our physical body. And I see the same similarities in our Native world. They had that whole Kit Carson, and then we're talking about kill it and then save the man. It's the same dang on theory.
Exactly.
They dismantle our minds and they keep our body. And the thing that holds us together is our culture. That's our strength. So when we're going back to your, the youth being connected to this dang on phone, I'm like, this is my way to connect to them. My way to be able to speak the same language as them. My way for them to see me, see themselves. That's why I named the brand Ah-Shí. Because they don't see me. They see themselves. And that's what it means in Navajo. Ah-Shí, this is me. This is mine. So they don't have to look like anybody else. They know that they are perfect the way the Creator created them.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what color your skin color is. Doesn't matter what type of hair texture you have. Doesn't matter what type of body shape you are. I guess I'm a slim thick, but I'm trying to get more to the thick side. But, but you know what I mean? Be happy with who you are. And, the other challenge, the main challenge I had was my health. You know, I fought ovarian cancer. That's why I wear turquoise a lot. Another reason why I like turquoise, the ribbon and what it represents. It was an ongoing battle, infertility, multiple miscarriages. It was just a lot. And, your health is your wealth. And being able to be strong mentally, physically, emotionally is hard, especially when your body is breaking down. So I guess you could say I'm a fighter. I'm a little res and little hood. Don't get it twisted. But that's my, it's just my ongoing battle. I know colorism not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So I just, let it dust off my shoulders, keep it moving, and just prove them wrong later. And soon enough, they're going to see like, wait, she's helping me. Yes, stop playing with me. Yes, I'm trying to help us.
Exactly.
Yes.
Us. Right?
Us.
I think, like you said, you're a little bit of a fighter. I think we all are. And I think that's just inherent from our history. Our ancestors, made us fighters. And it's funny that you mentioned, it's so like crazy that you mentioned that you're a little bit of Malcolm, you're a little bit of Dr. King, because I think the same way sometimes. Growing up on my res, one of my elders who I hold deeply in regards to my teachings always said this: look, on our tribe, we always had two types of leaders. We had the chief who would be up in front, and then we had our warrior. And don't get it twisted. It was the warrior who was calling the shots. And, sometimes you have to balance yourself on who you're going to be. What was that?
Thought it was the women.
Well, no, but look, I'm getting to that though. So the thing is like the chief and the warrior, and you have to know when to balance who you're going to be that day. Mm-hmm. And for my tribe specifically, like a lot of our women were our warriors. They were our strength and our backbone. Which I believe honestly, it's like that all over Turtle Island. I think we're showing it now more than ever, but it's something we've had all the time.
Exactly. Native women run the world. I mean, that's just the honest to goodness truth. And when we're talking about Native women businesses, Native women businesses get 10 times more done for a lot less money than white-owned businesses. And I'm just going to call it like it is, because it's a lot harder to get the loans. It's a lot harder to make every step of the way, it becomes increasingly more difficult. So that's, again, why we wanted to do these features and feature your business. Ah-Shí. Ah-Shí.
It's interesting.
I promise I'm going to get it.
You got it.
What's interesting too is that I was just in a conversation this week at a panel, and I was listening, and they were talking about how Indian country has been in the forefront in regards to women in power, women in leadership, and how that, like, the general society, the United States, they're catching up to that. They're barely catching up to that. And you see that now since 2018 to now, where, women in politics is really growing and it's dominant. But in Indian country, we have data from 1981 to now showing you that we were ahead of that curve long time ago.
Well, the Native country is the miner's canary a lot of times. So if it's happening in Indian country, eventually the rest of the world picks it up. So like 30 years ago, it was the issue of men and boys not going to college. And then it picked up, and that's one of President Obama's issues that he was working on, was making sure that men and boys had the things that they needed. If that's the thing about like missing and murdered Indigenous women, it's happening in our communities. It's eventually going to catch up to the rest of the world, and we're seeing that trend even now. But instead of going down that path, I just want to talk a little bit more about, you actually opened one of your businesses on the reservation, right?
Yes.
Right.
Girl, it'll open for 7 days and I shut down. Oh my God, I was so sick, guys. I was so sick. I finally was able to pull out that red tape, and do something crazy awesome. And it happened. Then COVID came through. I was like, golly, can I be great? But it was a huge accomplishment, not just for myself, but the people I had, my team, because I put a lot on social media. If you follow my threads, I say something and I really do put it out there and it actually happened. And which is kind of scary for me sometimes. It was so surreal. Like, ooh, I did say I was going to open up a store on Navajo and I actually did it and it's here. And I guess, unfortunately, yes, we went through this pandemic. Yes, we're still going through. I guess we're post or in fourth quarter, third quarter of this pandemic right now.
I don't
sports term. I don't know where we're at. Like hot, cold. I don't know where we're at. But just doing that, that was a huge moment in the beauty industry history that a Native-owned beauty brand opened its own storefront. Well, we have two. We have a studios in Gallup, New Mexico. And then we have our official storefront in Windrock, Arizona. And the reason why I have those two is like my whole thing is about operating on and off Navajo. Because that's the only way I can continue to grow is to be able to operate on and off Navajo. So, and then also Gallup is like our territory still. And it's a melting pot of all the other tribes. We all go to Gallup. And I feel that we need representation in that city, town. But Gallup City. It's our city, Resworld. Resworld is a city. It has multiple stoplights. It's a city for us. But it was super important that I have that location there. It's still there. It's just not open at the moment. And then having the storefront in Windrock, Arizona, that is our capital of Navajo, the Navajo Nation. And I was like, doing that, it's like putting a stamp on it, We can be online brands all day. There's nothing wrong being an online brand. But for me to actually make that noise in this industry, I have to have a physical location. I have to show this beauty industry that, stop playing with me. We too can have our own. Yes, we have 2 physical locations, just like everybody else. We're doing it. And it's a luxury brand and people are like, why do you have it there? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to be true to who I am. Right. I'm a Res kid at heart and I'm doing it for my people. It wouldn't make sense for me to open here in Houston first, open in New York next. Like, no, it needs to be open at home. I have to create these jobs at home and then I can open out here because here in Houston, after everyone saw that I was here, they're like, I'm in Houston. I was like, how many Navajos in Houston? Oh my God.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. I was like, I thought I saw one at the grocery store one day. Because you know how you see a Native, and you just have that connection, that vibe. And she just walked past me. I was like, you see the scarf. Don't act like you don't know the signature scarf here. It's every Indian country has this. But she just walked past me. I was like,
yeah. By the way, can we make a note here out there in Indian country who's listening? You see another Indian out there, say hello. Let's make that a thing. Can we?
Yes, please. I'm not the girl hanging. I was over here smiling and everything looking crazy in the store. I was so happy to see another Native.
Yeah. Look.
And then she just walked past me. I was like, my husband was like, ooh, access denied. I was like, stop playing with me. Push this cart.
Absolutely. Look, I'm originally from Arizona, and now I'm over here in Washington, D.C., and it's hard to find us. And so when I see one, I'm just like, hey, what's up? And they look at me like they're scared. So.
I don't get it.
I'm in Albuquerque. There's Indians everywhere.
Oh, yeah, we're everywhere.
You guys high five each other over there all the time.
I know. Did I just see you over there? You following me?
Exactly. One thing that you were really talking about, the passion of having to have that brick and mortar, having to have 2 businesses because you needed to show everyone that I can do this too. Exactly. What advice would you have for Native youth who would want to pursue the exact same path you have done? What advice would you give them?
research. Learn about the industry that you're going into. Know about it, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything about that industry before you go into it. I say that with a lot of heart because the beauty industry is cutthroat. You better have thick skin. And it's not going to be pretty all the time. You know, people think, oh, you own a beauty brand. They think of Kylie. Oh my God, you could look so cute and do all this. But half the time, you're in a t-shirt, you're in some jeans, you're putting up your hair up because you don't want to do your hair. You're kind of covering it up and you're not beat all the time in the face because, you know, it's a lot of work. You know, there's going to be a lot of people throwing everything at you. I had a kitchen sink thrown at me, you know, but you just had to keep going forward. And I feel like if you see it so crystal clear, whatever you're going into, if it's in logistics, if it's in cooking, if it's whatever you want to go into it, research and, you know, plan it out, you know, write it down, and then ask the people, look at your competitors. I look at MAC, I look at Estee Lauder, I look at La Mercier, because those are the brands I want to be one day. So will be one day. Correct yourself. And speak it into existence. You know, you have to put life in it. And what people don't understand as indigenous peoples, we are powerful. When we manifest things, it happens. So I'm saying this, if you want to do it. And don't let anyone tell you no. They're going to tell you no. But don't tell yourself no. And, you know, one big thing about it is, you know, I always say protect your energy, protect your vision, protect your purpose, protect your family, your sisters. I always say that because you can't get time back. That's priceless. Your energy, once you get rid of it, it's gone. It's just like time. You can rebuild it. It takes some time to get it back. Protect that. And your purpose. You know, people are going to tell you no. They're going to steer you wrong. They're going to discourage you. They're going to do everything away from that vision that you were given by the creator. I truly believe that's what it is. You know, we have these dreams and we don't have them for nothing. There's a bigger purpose, and this whole business of mine is bigger than me. So I feel like we all are able to do whatever we want to do, and we just have to do it. We just have to do it, and we have to support each other. And yes, there's multiple beauty brands. I'm not the only one. I say it all the time. Every podcast I do get on, there's multiple beauty brands, and you don't have to always buy from me. You can buy a few things from me, but fill your makeup brand with all the other makeup brands. And that, you know, don't compete against each other.
Right.
There's a bigger world that we need to compete up against, not each other. And, you know, I say that really from the bottom of my heart is that we have to work together. We are stronger together than anything. So we just had to dig deep and let's do this. Right? Let's work together because that's all we have left is each other. The world is crumbling, as we can see.
Mm-hmm.
So we know how to live off of Mother Earth. We know our teaching. We know that true connection we have to the earth itself. So that's our power. And we get to hold on tight to it, to our language, to our culture, and our purpose of being, you know, Mother Earth's children as we protect her.
Absolutely. I am 100% here for it. And we just have one last question. What tips do you have for our listeners on how to dress like an Indian?
Whew. Do what you need to do. But honestly, like I cannot leave the house without either my cedar beads on or my turquoise. I wear my moccasins all the time. So make sure you have your jewelry on. That's a sign of protection. That's what my mom always says. My grandparents always says. So wear your jewelry that identifies who you are. Wear your hair up in your traditional hair bun or however you feel best. And you can balance your native culture and modern world. It can balance together. And don't be afraid of showcasing that. So yeah, people look at me crazy with my teeth on my hair bun and my moccasins when I'm out and about in Houston. But I don't care because that's who I am. The
Yeah.
creator sees me, doesn't matter how far I'm away from home. So that's my whole thing, is just be proud of the things that we have in our culture itself, and modernize it, added it to your clothes right now. And rock it. Rocker Mox is coming up, but Rocker Mox every day if you can.
I can't do that in New Mexico because our moccasins, I'm originally from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Our moccasins are soft-soled.
Yeah, mine's too. Wait,
Girl,
you take out mine.
Goat heads come right through my moccasins.
Literally, this is fine.
Right now.
I'm
Like,
telling
We
you.
don't have goat heads in North Carolina.
You have to. Well, like, honestly, like, my soles, they deteriorate faster because of the asphalt. So I'm forever buying new moccasins, and I feel the heat. I need to get them rubber underneath it, but yeah, like, I totally understand too. So moccasins maker, add a little bit of rubber underneath my moccasins, please. Thank you.
So before we go, can you share with us or our listeners where can they find you?
Oh, y'all, go. Let me do my plug. Go to my website. It's ahshibeauty.com. That's AHSHI beauty.com. Follow us on all social media platforms at Ah-Shí Beauty. If you can't find it, Google it and I'll pop up. Don't be afraid to message me, email me. I literally sleep with my phone, and I'm not supposed to, but I do. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me. Like, you're really talking to me. So yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Awesome. You know what? Look, this was fun. This was great. I love just how laid back you are, but at the same time, being very conscious and serious about what you're doing. And that's amazing. And I'm thankful. I'm truly thankful for this conversation today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. And we will hopefully go to ahshibeauty.com, get your merch.
Yes, get your merch. The marathon continues. Hold on, I'm a little gangster to yourself. I mean, listen, too much Nipsey Hussle, y'all. Like,
you know, I'm a little jealous. You know, I would love to be able to wear something, but I got
you. Give me your mailing address. I got men's shirts too. I have men men line coming up, a men's skincare line coming up. I do have a hair and body full size coming out. I have hotel toiletries, but I have full size coming for men, beard, all that good stuff. I didn't forget y'all. I hear you. My husband grew out his, and I'm like, bro, okay, you're my test dummy today. So I did not forget about the fellas. I got you guys. Yeah, this is just the beginning. It's just not beauty products, but I remember the men. I have a fragrance, so I have a men fragrance coming up because y'all, you know, men are beautiful too. So y'all got it.
So, a little bit.
You know, y'all got some too. Nice. I got you. We got you.
Well, I will rock it proudly. You know. We have to, right? Because why we have to do it together.
Exactly.
That's what I got. That's what I got from this.
Don't let me come up there. I'll get you. I'm gonna wear my shirt.
I will find you.
I will find you. I'm not hide from a Native woman.
That's true.
I'm scary, but you already know. I can talk to y'all all day.
All right. Well, that does it for us at the Wrong Indian Podcast. We'd like to thank you again for taking this time with us, and we will hopefully have this conversation again.
Yes, soon. Definitely. Right. I'm here, y'all. Let me know.
All right, guys. Bye.
All right.